afternoon, everyone. I'm Carol Perry, Chief Business Development Officer here at HomeSmart. Joining me today, and always, is Kendra Bibler, our Affiliate Manager. Hey, Kendra, thanks for everything you do for all of us. We so appreciate you. I don't see Mike Jepson, but I sure see his name on the screen there, so I know he's here as well. So thank you for everything you do for us, Mike. And then, here, oh, there he is. Okay, and then here we go. Topic is winning the day, and I don't even care what the rest of it is. It's winning the day with Harold Zapata. So who cares about what the topic is? No, I'm just teasing you, Harold. So good to see you, Equitable Escrow. Harold, we're happy to have you here and excited to hear from you and hear about winning the day. Bring it on.
All righty. Well, thank you so much. It kind of sounds like a show, Winning a Day with Harold Zapata. We may have to
I know.
trademark that already and get a little
you
bit.
You might give Marlo a run for his money with his podcasts, right?
He's a mile ahead of me. Oh, man, he's awesome. In fact, I like to say here on the record, thank you to Kendra for putting me together again with Marlo. He's my brother from another mother in another market, and he had an excellent Monday Ask the Experts a week ago, and Kendra's like, oh my goodness, Harold, you have to look into this. And then we talked to Marlo, and he gave me some ideas, and even though I ended up totally left field, completely different presentation, the inspiration did take place because of our leadership. Kendra, thank you so much. And folks, just want to give each of you a very warm and cordial welcome. These next 20, 25 minutes together, 30 minutes, we'll be going over a topic that I believe it's good even if you are a brand new agent, you barely started, or you are a seasoned agent and we need a little bit of fine tuning. And we always believe iron sharpens iron. Harold Zapata, yours truly, always accessible for all of our HomeSmart agents. I am a HomeSmart employee working for our HomeSmart agents in Coachella Valley, helping them create more and more deals. And as we get more and more deals, we have an awesome subsidiary, one of our smart partners, Equitable Escrow, and this is part of our Equitable team here. You have Angie Beer, Priscilla Garcia, yours truly, Harold Zapata, and not pictured here is Monica Perez. And we are an awesome unit here for your buyers and sellers, helping you close the escrow, making you look great. Love a lot of the new agents coming on board, trying us out for the first time. The reviews are incredible, through the roof, 5-star. What a difference it makes to be fully staffed. And we always are appreciative of our leader, Mike Jepson in the area, as well as Trish and other people at corporate for helping us to be as staffed as needed so we can help you close more deals. Okay, so today's topic, we're talking about winning the day, right? We are winners. Why are we winners? Because we have a winning life. Why do we have a winning life? Because we are built upon a winning year that's built upon a winning quarter, winning month, winning week, winning day. So if we want to continue that streak, winning is really a habit. It's a habit of excellence, and we want to win every day. So there, Jim Rohn says, success leaves clues, right? There are clues that top producing agents, the Pareto principle, right? 20% of agents bring about 80% of the income. It's such an honor to be standing next to our broker, Mike Jepson, at the Q1, Q2 top 15 agent luncheon awards, and to be able to see our agents grow. And we want all of our 523 agents in Coachella Valley to reach that 1-star, 1 diamond, 2 diamond, 3 diamond, 4 diamond awards, and more to come. So to do that, we all have 24 hours. And in these 24 hours, we have something called precious time. Time is the most valuable asset you have. And the reason why it's the most valuable asset is because you can't produce or make any more of it. We all have the same. And it is a unit of measurement, both of quantity, but as well as quality. So how we deal with our time, as well as another subject, we'll talk about our mindset, right? And I know Mike talks about mindset all the time. But today we'll talk about that sister, right? Time, because how we manage time in the 24 hours we're all allotted, and how we build upon time is what makes a difference between having a winning life or a sub-winning life, right? So we definitely want to talk about 7 items today The first one we want to address is, well, let's talk about how to master the morning routines. That'll be the first thing we'll be talking about this morning or this afternoon. Second, we'll talk about how to time block focused bursts of activity around income producing activities. Number three, we'll be talking about is how to prioritize, how to delegate daily tasks. There's a great principle called the Eisenhower principle, and it uses a matrix, and all top producers in different verticals of industries, real estate, insurance, and so forth, are definitely prioritizing their goals and the tasks of each day through this principle. Number four, we'll be talking about how to automate your real estate practice by using really top CRM. We want to have that contact relationship software, that management system ready so that we automatize all the things that we should be doing anyways to be top of mind in front of our sphere of influence, whether it be also the warm market or cold market techniques. We'll talk about that here in a few moments. And a sister to that, number five, how to automate best practices, some things that just should happen automatically, or how to have somebody as your wingman, wingwoman, wing person. We got to be inclusive today, wing person, to be like a virtual assistant. And we'll talk about that. It's so important. Top producers are really using some awesome leverages when it comes to virtual assistants, whether national or international virtual assistants. Number six, how important it is, if you're going to start the day right, how you have to finish the last things of your day. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then to finish off everything, you know, your why is so important, right? And your why is what holds all this together. If your why doesn't want to make you cry, you have to get a better, stronger why. So for so many people, their why is their children, their family, a vacation. But that rewarding of yourself to say, it was good, it was good, it was very good. The work that we built upon this last month, this last quarter, upon this last week, upon these last 5 or 6 days of work. So how do we reward ourselves? So to get started, well, we all have a life, and we all have balance that we search. And this wheel of life, well, we all seek health, right? We all want to have some sort of a physical physique. We want to have strong nutrition. We value health, because really, if you can't make any more time, you can bounce back off of many things. You can get another job, another relationship, but those are plastic or rubber balls that bounce back up. But health is a crystal ball, and you drop that, and it's just very hard to come back again, right? So we got to take care of our health, and we need to have that balance for health. Obviously, for work, we need to produce. That's what we're talking about today. We all have family and friends, community that we belong to, that we're part of, that we need to spend time with. We all believe, garbage in, garbage out. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The good book says, right? So we want to put good things into our minds with a personal development, intellectual stimulation, reading, motivational audio tapes or videos. And how about recreation? We all, part of our rewarding ourselves, we like to spend time, out in nature, or maybe on a vacation, or time alone with, a date night with your spouse, significant other. Of course, that leads us into family and life planning and spirituality. I mean, there's so many things that we have this balance that we seek. Not everything is not just all health, and we put aside family, or all work and we put aside health. There needs to be this balance, this wheel of balance. So today, we're talking specifically about this sliver here of work, and how agents that want to be one diamond, two diamond, three diamond agents don't need to be working 70, 80, 90 hours a week, sometimes hurting even their own physical bodies or their relationships. You want to take someone with you to the top. You want to take yourself first, right? You want to be healthy to get to the top, and you want to bring some people with you as well. It's a very sad thing to be alone at the top, right? So let's talk about number one, precious time. How to work smarter, not harder, is really the subtitle that we want to put here. And Well, number one, we got to master the morning routines. I don't care who you talk to. And I have a, confession. I love $1 million the sales in New York and in the Los Angeles area on Bravo. And these, whether it be Frederick, right? The classic Frederick, whether it be Mr. Sirhan, Lewis. I mean, everyone's going to tell you how they start. And the cameras are right there, right? Their alarms go off. You got the Altman brothers in the Los Angeles area, right? And so they all start off the same. Their alarms on their cell phones go off about 4 or 4:30 in the morning. They'll be ready at 5 a.m. when they open up the gym. And they know that they are waking up at the same time every morning. Again, these are top producing agents selling to between $2 to $7 billion of year to date in real estate. And they know that how you start the day with your mind, how you start the day with your mindset, with your body, a lot of this is connected. So being able to sweat, to get the heart pumping, to do some light cardio, to do some stretches or yoga, to be able to do some heavier weightlifting, all these are strenuous to the body, but actually produce hormones that will help you, like a coffee good in the morning. And it helps you sweat, get the day started right, showering, moving, you're getting up, you're moving forward. And a couple of thoughts here to conquer the morning. You definitely want to wake up at the same time, and you want to stay away from emails and cell phones and WhatsApps and text messages and missed calls the first thing, right? You want to have your shoes ready, your shorts ready. You want to have your workout partner already ready, and you want to be hitting out the door as soon as possible to start morning exercise. As soon as you can, start moving. When it comes to coffee, look at different people, how they use it. I like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He is, of course, a very successful entrepreneur. And of course, he has an optimal physique. And he will actually, when you have a chance, Google it, how he uses coffee. And instead of having coffee use him, very important, the dosage and timing of coffee throughout the day, because there is such a thing as a 2 o'clock burnout. And many times it's because of our friend in the morning. So look into that a little bit more often, but everything that you can to do, win the morning, right? If you put the first button in the first hole, chances are the other ones are going to align pretty good, right? So one of the first thoughts we want to have is, again, conquer the morning. First point, pretty simple, pretty simple. Second point. All righty. Of course, if you have any questions along the line, we have our friends that are helping us here. You can stop me at any time. We're having a real fun time together. Let me tell you, putting this together for me. Again, I come from real estate, almost 10 years as a broker, myself, of the Fresno area. Everything that I'm sharing here with you has been practiced by me because I was taught by Mike Ferry. And I've gone to Las Vegas a couple of times and been at his sales schools, and I can tell you that these things are true. Number two, he believes in this. Tom Ferry believes in this. Mr. Buffini believes in this. Jim Rohn believes in this. Time block yourself. And by time blocking, so time blocking deals with, you don't want to micromanage yourself, but you definitely want to know how your time clicks with the best optimal time of the day. For most people, the best time when we're most alert is between 9 to 11:30 in the morning, with that 10 o'clock being the sweet spot. So if at 8 a.m., it's part of your best practice to be at the office. I can tell you, Mr. Ferry would say, if you have to go to sleep with a coat hanger, go to sleep with it, but you have to mobilize the 12 muscles in your face that make us smile, especially if you are part of those of us that have always believed in prospecting in the morning, right? Whether it's expireds, whether it's FSBOs, whether it's interacting with your sphere of influence. You want to prospect. And if you're using the cell phone, that transference of energy can only happen if you're happy within. And the only way you're happy within sometimes is if you hack your brain. Because let's say I remember I was going through a divorce 15 years ago and I was starting real estate, and it's a tough thing to go through. But when you smile and literally I had to bite an apple or a pencil and force myself to say the scripts for about half hour, and at 8 a.m. start dialing for dollars for expireds and FISBOs, then you transfer that energy. You lead generation preparation 8 to 8:30, dialing for dollars to 11 a.m. You are now doing some business servicing. Now you're responding to some of the emails, texts, calls, and so forth. You try to do some cross-industry lunches. I think I shared with this with another group of people recently. One of the experiences I had, I'll never forget this, a bodybuilder, an agent with New York Life. And I went to see him at his office at the New York Life because I had lunch with him, right? I'm real estate, he's insurance. And I know insurance agents have to ask the question when they're doing the appointments at people's homes, are you buying or renting? It's one of the questions. And when they say, well, doesn't matter what really. Hey, I know this great realtor, his name is Zapata. And if we're able to convert that into a lead, well, I just like to say thank you. And there was different ways of saying thank you. And one of them was just a remuneration. And he literally in the elevator, a bodybuilder, he couldn't fit in his shirt. And he's crying saying, man, I've had a really bad quarter. This was a big deal for me. Now my kids are going to have a pretty good Christmas. Thank you so much. I'll never forget that. Guys and gals, don't have lunch alone. Cross industry with other agents from other industries and help them and build that type of network. Again, use lunch wisely. 2 to 3 years, again, you're servicing your business. How important it is also to do marketing. We'll talk about that here in a moment. In the afternoons, and of course, go to as many listing appointments or buyer appointments as possible. Try to wrap up the day, again, if you can, about 6 p.m. You don't want to be just putting family aside or health or other things aside. So again, sufficient is to the day the evil thereof, right? If you pack the day, just leave it at the office, leave it at the CRM. We'll talk about that in a moment. And now put on your daddy hat, put on the husband hat, or the lover hat, whatever it is, and just be yourself and just enjoy life with friends and family. Again, this is on a daily basis, something more along the lines of a weekly or even a monthly calendar should look something similar to this. Again, this is yours truly living it, and this is yours truly being on the other side in escrow and sitting down with our top producers and seeing them how they are investing of their money with a coach. Brian Buffini, or one of his team, Tom Ferry, one of their team, Eisenhower, one of their team, whatever it is that they have, but somebody to hold them accountable, a sales manager, right? The designated broker. I mean, to have somebody to keep them accountable. And that is so important because we all are led astray by so many different ways. So when we time ourselves in specific blocks and say the mornings are for prospecting, then you're putting the wheels of best practices to spin because you need to have a pipeline that is filled with listing appointments, buyers presentations, and that is, of course, what we need to build a solid. So what we're talking about is the structure, right? The structure, but we got to fill it in with buyers and sellers leads, whether it be sphere of influence, cold, and we'll talk about that here in just one moment. Okay. Now, when we talk about time management, I like to talk about short bursts because when I talk about, let's say, for example, 8 to 11:30, yes, you are going to be dialing for dollars. You're going to be using a couple of software programs. We'll be talking about them in about 5-10 minutes. But you don't want to be spending all the time because our minds are just not wired like that. Our minds are wired according to a tomato, right? So there was an Italian gentleman who had a little tomato timekeeper, about 25 minutes. And he's like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on bursts of activities as long as my little, in Italiano, è pomodoro, right? It's tomato in Italian is pomodoro, right? So he called it the tomato principle. It's this little 25-minute little gadget. You spin it this way, and then when it's done, it gives you this alarm, and it says your 25 minutes are up. Take a 5-minute break, and then come back for another 25 minutes, right? And then take another 5-minute break. Do this about 4 times, and then take about a 30-minute break. So when I talk about 8 a.m. to, let's say, midday, you're really not 4 hours just dialing for dollars. Impossible. Not even Will Smith in that beautiful movie. What is it? The one movie that he did, the Pursuit of Happiness, right? He's dialing for dollars. Yeah, he even had to take the Pomodoro principle, short bursts of 25 minutes, put it on your alarm clock, take a break. 5 minutes, put it back again. You're actually going to find out that you'll actually do more under constrained time, more focused, than if you would just say, well, I'm just going to prospect in the mornings. Well, there's different ways of doing that, right? So you want to set yourself to small bursts of time. Again, this is called the Pomodoro principle. So we talked about, again, just some major bullet points. Master the morning routines. Time block yourself. Know who you are in the morning, at lunch, and in the afternoon. And when to take that hat off and put on the family hat, right? Number 3, prioritize or delegate. Either do it yourself or make sure it gets done using something called the Eisenhower matrix. Again, it's always to reach your goals. And you'll see these first, all these are to reach your goals. You have to know your goals. I mean, that's assuming that you've already sat down and done your business plan. If you haven't done your business plan, it's a free half-hour with me, one-on-one, where I go over top producers' business plans together with marketing plan, right? So let's get together if you haven't done one yet, even though we're starting Q4 pretty soon, but it doesn't matter. You can always get ready also for 22. But using the Eisenhower matrix, and I'm sure you've seen this before, you probably read up on it, there are tasks that you should do yourself. There are other tasks that you should really delegate, others that you should maybe schedule, put off some other in the future, or these really don't belong. So, for example, certain tasks that you need to focus on first, deal with, for example, are they important and are they urgent? So look at the constraint of time, the importance of it getting done. For example, prospecting. Of course, these are things that are important. It's urgent. If you believe that, you will show up early, whether in your home office or at the broker's office, and you're going to do what it takes to keep the main thing the main thing. That's a pipeline has to be filled, and you got to be closing. Always be closing, right? Or, well, it's not that urgent. Can it be scheduled later? And as if you have a TC or if you have a VA, virtual assistant, we'll talk about that in a moment, then these are things you can definitely hand off to them to schedule or to them to delegate. Do you have processes in place for certain things to be automated? We'll talk about that in a minute. Very important to delegate this. Or, you know what? You don't always have to say yes, right? Sometimes you can say no and say, I am not going to do this. This doesn't belong on the list. It's not that high of income producing activity. So these are important things. I guess I wish somebody would have told me this when I first started. My first couple of days doing real estate, I thought back in '07, how important it is to have a website. So I started learning how to code and to do my own website. Come on, really? And I wish somebody would have told me what I'm saying now is there are things that really don't matter. You can farm things off to the professionals, right? But you do have, 29, 30 business cards. Go before lunch, make sure you hand them off to people at the mall. And that's, of course, when I started doing that, we started getting a lot of listings in the first couple of months. So again, it's all about what's important to keep the main thing. Identify your goals, know your goals, review your goals, and know what are urgent and important tasks, what are not so urgent that you can schedule later, what are important but not, let's say, urgent but not that important. And of course, if it's not urgent or important, eliminate. Okay, number 4, and I love these next two. Automate. The first one, automate your business, your real estate practice, your business with a great contact relationship management software, CRM. So if you have a chance to go into RealSmart Agent, our back office, you'll see the dashboard. If you go down to marketing on the bottom left, like the second one to the bottom, click on marketplace. And then you're going to see iExact as well as Wise Agent. So HomeSmart has partnered with these two. And they are, again, CRMs, other very important CRMs that a lot of agents use, LionDesk, as well as Top Producer. And of course, you can Google CRMs for real estate and you can see a lot more. But these two are in our back office. I thought I would just bring that up to your attention. There's always some sort of a discount by using one of them. LionDesk is probably one of the most economic, about $25 a month. And you get a lot of stuff with it. Top Producer a little bit more. A lot of people used to use Top Producer. A lot of people have been going to LionDesk. iExact and Wise Agent is what your broker is recommending, and they partnered with them. Other things that you'll find in your marketplace also, you'll find BombBomb. We used to have Constant Contact. We don't have that anymore. For those of us that have done a living, I know I did, off of expireds, right? So there are ways of being able to get these sellers' phone numbers. We got Vulcan 7, we got Redix, and others if you just look at other softwares. But these are just samples of where you're going to leverage this technology. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money, but they can help you keep the main thing, which is keep your pipeline full. Keep those phones ringing, keep the activity going. And again, these are just things for you to know. If you've never looked into these, take a snapshot of this picture, go to your RealSmart agent, log on to Marketplace, and take a look at Wise Agent, iExact, LionDesk, Top Producer, look at Vulcan 7, Redix, and do what you have to do to get your systems in order. It shouldn't cost you an eye or a leg. Okay, automate best practices. So one of the questions I ask pretty much at all my one-on-one marketings with our agents is, what are your best practices when it comes to taking a listing? Do you have a system where you have just listeds and just solds automatically going out, right? You got the listing, right? You want to have that just listed postcard to the next 200, homes around that home that you have listing. When it's an escrow, what do you do when that happens? Hopefully with equitable escrow, right? When it is sold, what are your best practices for it, whether it be, and it's not just postcards, mind you, it has to be, I'm a strong proponent of that. If you work so hard to get one listing, why not get 2 or 3 or 4 out of that one listing when other people start saying, look, honey, he sold it for $50,000 above asking in less than a week. Well, take advantage of the market. It's starting to slow down just a bit, but take advantage of the market and say, what you did, and you'll get more listings that way, right? So, but it's not just postcards. Then you also have targeted Facebook ads and just that zip code and other things that we have people like Michael Zobek, right? They can help you with that, and Agent by Design. So use the tools, the resources that HomeSmart has for us. It's an incredible company, the one that we belong to. Now, some of these things, however, because you're out there, in the field, I was once, there was some chip paint, and for FHA, you all know what chip paint means. So I was literally out there, I was painting, literally it was a 1/4 acre fence around this home. And I was there, yours truly, 6 a.m. I had to close a deal, and the seller was not going to spend a penny more. So I got myself, and I started painting out there in the field. So my mentor stops by, he sees me, he honks the horn, and he says, Harold, you are an outstanding agent in the field. I'll never forget that. I was out there standing in the field. Okay, but do what you have to do. But sometimes you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't be painting. Shame on me. That's a bad example, but I did what I had to do to get the job done. The same thing applies with something we call virtual assistants, right? So a couple of places you can go to. Freelancer. I've used Fiverr on so many things. I've done websites. I've done images, I've done intros and outros. I also do voiceovers. I've used them for so many things. And Fiverr is an excellent community of freelancers. Upwork is one of the platforms that most virtual assistants will be on. So you can find virtual assistants with very good English in Colombia, in Puerto Rico, in the Philippines, in India. And these virtual assistants can literally help you if you have processes in place. Many of them are already experienced virtual assistants in the real estate vertical, right? So in the space. So they can help create, say for marketing, buyer's packets. You don't have to do that. They can send everything ready to send the mailers for just listed, just solds, graphic design, scheduling. They can even be writing blog posts, update the website, schedule emails, SEO updates, again, post, update, write, advertise on social media. These are things for marketing that people with very good English and with know-how savvy, certified with Google or Microsoft or with some sort of a programming, but they speak good English, maybe with a little accent, but they'll get the job done for you on the marketing side. The same thing can be said also with some light admin. And for that, of course, I would refer you to your broker. He will tell you what best things to avoid that's not licensing required. But there are some things that may be a light data entry into your CRM, for example, collect some feedback from your clients. Many of them can help you with basic bookkeeping. You want to have your quarterlies paid every quarter. And there are people that can really help you really cheap for that. They can help you prepare sales reports, performance reports, schedule services like your photographers, inspections, have them more involved. New agent recruiting, for example, speaking to agents if you're starting to build a team. They can do light receptionist duties, answering the phones and so forth. There's also that personal touch, being able to call somebody on your behalf, or at least being able to schedule holiday cards and so forth. There are also virtual assistants here in the States. We also have, of course, TCs that can help you with your files and so forth. So leverage the work of other people so that you don't do that $10 or $5 an hour neck down activity. Let them earn some income, but you can do that for what they pay you, a couple of 100,000, six-figure income per year from your neck up, right? So you want to be out there, be seen, top of mind, and get all that rolling. So important now as we're finishing up to master the last things of the day, right? So as you're winding down the day, how important it is to finish strong. You know that tomorrow's coming. To review your goals for the week, to review your goals, how you've done up to this point, to rehearse what could have been done better, what was done right, to look at your reward, how close you are to your reward, to get the shoes and the shorts and the sweater ready and the workout clothes right in place, right? So that you know what you're doing first thing in the morning. To have that technique of what you do to wind down, to say, this is how I wind down. To be able to do this with your loved ones, with family, and to repeat steps 1 through 6 the next day, it just actually gives you more time. It keeps you freer. So what you do in the evening, especially as you are identifying yourself with that identity of a professional real estate advisor, right? That's what we are, real estate advisors. And so to do that, when we go to sleep, all of us enter into something called rapid eye movement, REM sleep. That's when your eyes are moving back and forth, and it's registering into your subconscious all what you allowed to be placed on your plate consciously that day. And so that is forming your character. It's forming your identity. When you demand of yourself excellence, excellence is part of your character because you have said to yourself, I will not settle for second best. I will be on time. I will dress the best. I will have the right attitude. I will possess myself. I won't let myself take control of me. I require of myself an A game for tomorrow, the best that I can produce for tomorrow. This happens at nighttime because as you go to sleep with that, that's what gets recorded first into your subconscious. So when we do this, a new identity is rising of a professional, HomeSmart real estate advisor, right? And you're growing always and in all ways, right? To quote Ryan Serhant from New York multi-million-dollar listing. All right, and as we're finishing up here, I can't believe time is flying so fast. You want to, of course, reward yourself, right? We want to reward ourselves. We want to always go back to the place of our why. We need to know what is that why? Is it spending time with your loved ones? Is it being able to be there for somebody because somebody was not there for you? Is it being able to fulfill a certain promise to not just your family, but maybe to an orphanage in Mexico, maybe to a church, to a ministry? We all have something that's greater than we are. Hopefully that's part of your why. And to be able to achieve those things, well, it's so important to get the job done, to keep the main thing. And really the main thing is reward, right? We are creatures of reward, right? Either pain, right, or pleasure. And we want to avoid zero and go as far to the left of it as we can. We all want to avoid bankruptcy and repos and don't have enough. We want to have plenty. We want our cups to fill over, and we want to give out of the overflow with a character that's concentrated on being a man, a woman, a person of excellence. So with that said, on behalf of Angie and Priscilla and Monica and yours truly, I just want to thank you for just putting up with me here these last 38 minutes. And this is all we have to share for today.
Anything else, Harold, you want to share with us before we wrap up?
It's about faith. You have to believe. You really have to go into the future and you have to say, this is who I am. And if you work it from there here, you're smart enough and your why will keep you up enough to get it done. But you have to believe, and belief involves taking steps. So I encourage all of us to believe.